Za ha 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 ha. Hear ye, this is Lord Potato. What if Asta was Blackbeard? Part 5. Now, I know part 4 was like 2 weeks ago, but yeah, and I haven't really been uploading at all. Even though I had a spring break, and I could have on spring break, okay, spring break was like 2 weeks ago, and I know I could have what's called upload videos and start finishing what ifs. Problem is I was watching Bleach, and I think I'm already on episode 100. I can't remember where I stopped at, but yeah, I was literally watching Bleach, and I think I'm at the Bound arc. You know where that vampire bound, whatever bullshit they call him. But yeah, I'm at that arc, and I'm just thinking of what's it called already, making what if Ichigo what ifs. I just gotta first what's it called. I gotta finish a lot of old Naruto what ifs, Asta what ifs, and Boruto, Luffy, and Yuji. Now I know some people are going to ask for the Yuji Yuji Itadori what if for the one where he is basically Yuta's brother. I know, I'm still gotta finish that one because a lot of people are really intend to watch. Now I know I forgot what part I left that on, but yeah, I might have to just rewatch from the beginning to upload the next part. But yeah, but not the point. So let me begin into this what if, and let me shut the fuck up. But yeah, so yeah, no recaps because it hasn't been 1 month. The other what ifs, all the other what ifs, even though what's it called newest kind of 3.2k special, yeah, all of those are fuck. Gonna have to do recaps, or I can just say screw it, no recaps, and I just yeah. But not the point. Let me begin into this what if. Let me shut the fuck up, and yeah. So let's begin into Asta. Asta is right now kind of in the kind of kingdom castle building / in the kind of hospital room. Now, of course, this is where he's kind of laying down, and this is where he closes his eyes for a couple of seconds and decides to fall asleep. This is where some people noticed that he fell asleep, or mostly one person noticed that he fell asleep when she kind of came back in because she went to kind of go get some stuff like food and other stuff, and noticed that Asta was asleep. This is where she had this kind of evilish grin on her face, and of course a little bit of a tint blush, but she didn't care that much. She put the food on the kind of table beside Asta, and this is where Asta was still asleep, and this is where she grins and decides to kind of get on top of him and mostly lay on top of his chest. This is where she falls asleep thanks to the warmness that Asta kind of contains from his body. But yeah, this is where Asta was just he fell asleep for another couple of hours. This is where he woke up back at 5 hours later, kind of wondering what the hell happened. This is where he was kind of healed by the green mostly green hair female with kind of greenish skin and of course having bluish eyes. She was actually a species of slime, but yeah, she was a slime girl. But yeah, this is where she kind of did healing by using her slime magic. But yeah, but this is where Asta, he wakes up, and this is where when he opened his eyes, he noticed silver white hair on his chest. Of course, where he noticed towards the left of him was bright reddish hair, bright crimson blood red hair. And this is where to the right of him, mostly that was the left of him. To the right of him was someone. Mostly he noticed bright pink hair. Of course, it's not long as the red hair or even the silver hair that he noticed, but this is where it's kind of short pink hair. But of course, where he then noticed what's it called 9 tails behind the silver pouch of hair. He's right now opening his eyes, kind of trying to move his arms so he can just get the sleep out of his eyes until he kind of notices a thing. When he blinks multiple times, he noticed that both his arms are unable to move because they're in between something, and of course he can barely get up because there's something on top of him, mostly 2 things on top of him, and of course won't really budge. That's just confused, and this is where he still feels the pain in his body a lot, even though it's kind of small, small bits of pain. But of course, this is where it's still a lot of pain that he still feels in his body. Asta kind of noticed the time because there is a clock kind of like ticking on the wall in front of the door of mostly this kind of hospital building, whatever. And this is where he noticed the clock says 9. Well, it says what's it called, like 5 p.m. in the afternoon. This is where Asta says it's 5 p.m. Wait, talk about my teammates. I wonder how Yami's reacting to this. This is where, we go back into the Blackbeard hideout. Yami, he's right now in the bathroom. I must surpass my limits. But yeah, this is where, we go into Finro, Luck, and even Magma. This is where Magma is kind of just like thinking, hey guys, where do you think Asta's at? This is where, he kind of asks Luck and Finro. Luck says, don't know. He must be just fighting someone super strong. This is where, mostly Finro drops at Luck's kind of, mostly answer. And this is where Finro, he thinks, he's not with the girls. He's not with, that beautiful red hair girl with bluish eyes. Neither, he's not with Noelle, Junko, or Yuta. This is where, for some reason, Finro's head literally makes a cloud of mostly like imagination on top of his head. And this is where, he now thinks Asta might have got new girls, like mysterious question figures. And this is where, Finro is literally thinking that Asta's over here getting lucky in, like, getting more girls, until he realized that that's not Asta's personality. He then shakes a thought and just thinks that maybe he's training somewhere. This is where, Finro just says, don't know why I thought of that. Nah, that's not Asta. This is where, he then just says maybe he's training somewhere. This is where, Magna says, I guess my rival is training somewhere. Luck says, rival? I thought I was your rival, because you're weaker than me. This is where Magna says, come here over here and tell me that to my face when I kill you. This is where Luck is running. This is where, Finro is just sighing, saying, I gotta stop him, don't I? Maybe I'll go to a mixer before I stop him. I'll do that. This is where Finro makes a portal, but yeah. We go into Ghosh and Grace. Well, mostly Gray. Gray is right now going, because she's still in that, steam cloud. Mostly the big guy, the illusion. And this is where next to her is called Ghosh. And Ghosh is right now looking at a picture of Maria and saying, my beautiful angel, I won't let that grayish, blondish person be anywhere near you again. You're my beautiful angel. He's like hugging it really close to his face, and yeah. This is where, we go into mostly, we go into Charmy, and Charmy is literally just cooking lots of food. This is where, she's making tons and tons of food for everyone to eat. And this is where, Charmy is right there, and Vanessa is right now drinking on the couch, or mostly in the chair, and saying, this tastes so good. This is where it was mostly booze and other stuff. We go into Noelle still training with her water magic, but she's being helped by Junko, and of course, and also being helped by Yuta. But because Yuta's magic is a little also confusing and out of control, similar to Noelle. Junko is sighing and right now getting annoyed and how their magic really gets out of control most of the time. But yeah, then again, Junko's magic also sometimes get out of control. They kind of wonder where Asta's at, but yeah. But of course, the face becomes a little red and pink. They're just thinking, they're saying no, no, no in their head. They're just like thinking that they need help with their magic control, nothing else. But yeah. But of course, this is where, that is happening in the Blackbeard hideout. This is where, we go back to Asta. And Asta is over here just like, still very confused. But this is where when he kind of starts trying to move his arms, he feels something very soft and very squishy kind of up on his arms. This is where, he hears two kind of like grunts, but they're not even grunts, they're kind of moans. This is where, he's, mostly Asta blushes in an instant. Notice what is happening now. He's not stupid to this kind of logic, and he knows what a girl moan is, kind of, because mostly Blackbeard. Yeah, don't worry about that. This is where, Asta says, you gotta be kidding me. Oh god. This is where he's now thinking about the 4 different species he kind of did help yesterday. Or mostly, he helped one of them, but the other 4, or mostly the other 3 were trapped. But he can remember all their species now. pink hair reminds him of the fire elf. Mostly the elf that actually summoned out a fire spirit to try to help her against the blood dome. This is where, well, then there's the, what's it called, Kitsune, the one with the 9 tails, and has what's it called, like orangey, kind of goldenish hair. But yeah. Of course, this is where, well, she also has ears, so she's like a 9-tailed fox. She also wears like this orange kimono, but don't worry about that. This is where, well, that does show a little bit of her cleavage, and of course, this is where, well, barely cover up any of her legs, but yeah. Of course, this is where, well, the, what's it called, mostly the fire elf basically also shows a little bit of what they call her cleavage, because she'd wear like a black kind of long sleeve with a, what's it called, mostly like, what's it called, comfy greenish jacket. This is where, well, she wears like black shorts, but yeah, with black leggings and black shoes, but yeah. Her skin is kind of palish, palish. The fox 9-tails is kind of like palish also, but not that palish. It's kind of tan a little bit. This is where, mostly. Then there's the other two. So the first one is named, he can try to remember, but he's trying to remember what her name was again. Mostly the elf name was, the fire elf name was, he's trying to remember what her name was, but this is where, well, he didn't realize he doesn't really remember her name because she never did tell him. This is where, well, the fox was also the exact same thing, mostly the 9-tails Kitsune. And this is where, well, he then sighs, and this is where he remembers the other one, the girl with reddish crimson hair. She's a girl with reddish crimson hair, her eyes are kind of blue. I should also mention the fox and what's it called, the elf was, well, elf had red eyes, kind of reddish fiery eyes. Wait, I think, yeah, reddish eyes, and of course pointy ears, because she is a fire elf. This is where, well, then the other side, well, mostly the Kitsune, she didn't have pointy ears. Well, she did for being a fox, but this is where, well, she had what's it called, these kind of like lightish, kind of yellowish golden eyes that's similar to that of the sun color. But then there's the red hair girl who had kind of like kind of bluish greenish eyes. She kind of wear this, what's it called, so she wore kind of this white kind of polka dot kind of shirt, or mostly dress. And of course, this is where, well, she also kind of, well, mostly have shorts or mostly leggings, and of course red shoes, or not red shoes, black shoes, but yeah, mostly dress shoes. And of course, this is where Asta really couldn't remember her name because she never said anything, but only thing that he remembers is that she does have pale skin, and she is from the demon race. This is where, well, also a sign, and this is where, well, the last one is none other than the silver hair. She, so of course, the last one was a girl with kind of silverish hair. Of course, very like silverish hair. She had kind of red slick eyes. She had palish skin, kind of also pointy ears, like an elf. The other one that was demon race didn't really have pointy ears. But yeah, this is where, well, she wear a kind of black kind of dress to show off a little bit of her cleavage also. And of course, mostly, she was kind of slender than the others, but yeah. Well, I mean, they were all slender, but this is where, well, she kind of had like black leggings and black shoes, but yeah. This is where, well, I also can remember all their kind of dress and mostly what they wear and blah, blah, blah. And of course, couldn't really remember their names, but just their species. Mostly, she was a vampire, a royal blood vampire. This is where, well, also for some reason, well, not some reason, he kind of just thought of royalty for a second, and this is where he then just shook it off his head. This is where, well, he tries to move again, but he still doesn't understand how to do this. This is where, well, he then had an idea. This is where, well, he kind of calls upon his grimoire, because it was kind of on a chair, and it opened, and this is where, well, it started flipping to pages. He then says, Darkness Creation, Soldier. This is where a soldier appears, and this is where you see, well, not easy, mostly Asta grins and says, Shadow Exchange, or mostly Darkness Exchange. This is where, well, the darkness and him, the soldier and him, literally just exchange spots. This is where this is where Asta grabs the book, the grimoire, then puts it mostly back into the like booklet, and this is where, well, the book holder and other stuff. This is where, well, he then starts changing, mostly out of the kind of nursing outfit clothes that he had, or whatever, mostly the patient clothes, and started wearing mostly the actual clothing that he needs. This is where, oh, his actual clothing. which he kind of just looks like this. Mostly his actual clothing look like this. Mostly he kind of looked like, what's it called, Sun Jin-woo's drip, the pure drip in this shot though. But yeah, just kind of wearing a black hoodie and of course black pants and black shoes. But yeah. Also, I forgot he did have like the black kind of bull mostly thing also on top of from his like black hoodie. This is where, well, let's just say, well, this is good. This is really good. Now it's time to dip. This is where he tries to open the door until a magic kind of crest circle appears, and of course then kind of turns red and then started kind of blaring out this like noise from it. This is where Asta sweat drops in an instant. This shot, mostly the Darkness Soldier was kind of sweat dropping also. And this is where, well, 4 people stand up in an instant, kind of like noticing what they were kind of holding before kind of getting up. This is where they notice the Darkness Soldier, and Darkness Soldier just starts dissipating to darkness. This is where, well, they turn around towards the door, and the door is right now being opened very wide. Seeing Asta, and Asta right now peacing at them, just kind of giving the peace sign and dipping on them. This is where he's running like hell. He's like, shit, 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 shit. This is where, well, Asta kind of noticed in front of him, multiple soldiers were rushing towards him. This is where Asta says, are you fucking serious? Oh, well, this is going to be annoying. Darkness time. Darkness push. This is where, well, he kind of sent a wave of darkness straight in front of him, and this is where all of them wind their eyes and right now tries to jump out of the way. But there are mostly vampires that manage to leap over the darkness attack. But when they get to Asta's location, Asta's literally running down past them. But yeah, this is where, well, mostly down the hallway. And this is where they wind their eyes and say, we're gonna get fired for this, aren't we? One of them said, well, yes, but let's just hurry up and get him. This is where, well, they're kind of rushing towards where Asta went. They kind of turn around the corner and sees dead end, and Asta's nowhere. This is where they say, did we lose him? Fuck, this is bad. This is where they're running and trying to look for him, but yeah. Asta, shit. That was a close one. I gotta run out of here. Shit, this is bad. What to do? Whatever. This is where Asta keeps running around, trying to find where the exit's at. He kind of gets to a door, opens it, is not the exit, it's someone's kind of bedroom. He closes it, and this is where, well, someone wakes up and say, huh? What the hell was that? Did someone open my... Nah, I don't care. She falls back to sleep, but yeah. This is where, well, Asta doesn't care. He's running. This is where, well, Asta can't just phase through walls, which he wish he can do. But this is where, well, he then opens his grimoire and says, Darkness Creation. Darkness Soldiers. This is where Darkness Soldiers are created. This is where Asta commands him to look for the exit in an instant. The only reason he thought of Darkness Soldiers was the fact that he needed more people for help. So yeah. And he's not just gonna go up to a random vampire and say, where's the exit? Because the vampires are literally trying to get him. This is where, well, the Darkness Soldiers disappear. Mostly went into the ground and disappear. And this is where Asta says, gotta keep running. Shit. This is where soldiers actually appear right in front of him. Mostly what's it called? Vampire soldiers. The vampire soldier says, there he is! This is where Asta says, are you fucking serious? Asta ran back and says, running back towards where he came from. This is where, well, he then uses a darkness cloak right now, kind of hide him behind a kind of like armory. Like he's behind an armory right now, kind of posing behind it, so they wouldn't be able to see him. This is where they run past the armory and say, so annoying. This is where, well, Asta is then seeing the Darkness Soldier kind of waving at him from the ground, and this is where Asta says, where is it? This is where, well, the kind of Darkness Soldiers kind of can't really explain towards Asta, doesn't really talk, but this is where, well, it's telling Asta to follow him. This is where Asta says, right, I really didn't give you command to talk. Fuck, okay, let's go. This is where, well, Asta is following the Darkness Soldier until mostly when he gets to the exit, he kind of noticed there's a bunch of vampires there, kind of gathering up. This is where, well, they notice Asta and Inzi, and Asta say, are you fucking serious? This is complete bullshit and annoyment. Fine. This is where, well, Asta gets ready to literally attack them, but this is where a red crescent magic circle appears underneath mostly some of the soldiers. Some of the soldiers manage to jump out of the way, and this is where, well, they wind their eyes and realize that mostly a demon lord is actually coming up from the kind of mostly into the house. This is where Issei, well, not Issei, mostly, why do I keep saying Issei? This is not the second channel. This is where Asta kind of noticed, well, this, but this is where, well, he then uses a darkness cloak to kind of get out of here much faster by kind of sneaking behind some of the distracted vampires. And this is where, well, he's so close to the door that before he even gets so close out of the door, a red destruction kind of beam almost smashed upon him. He jumps out of the way and mostly landed outside. Of course, there's a bunch of vampire soldiers behind him now, but this is where, when he turns in front of him, right now looking up, he sees a man with long crimson red hair, similar to the girl that he noticed. He has kind of baby blue eyes, different from the girl that he noticed. But this is where, well, he kind of had armor shoulder plates on him. This is where, well, he also had like a cape, a red cape, mostly around him, but yeah. This is where, well, I also then noticed someone being next to him, mostly a girl or a female with grayish hair, and of course, like grayish, silverish hair with kind of like having bluish eyes. This is where, well, she wore like a maid outfit, and this is where, well, she had an icy kind of aura, and the guy had a very powerful, destructive aura. Also didn't know what to do until he then says, "This is bad. I might have to actually use my grimoire to get out of the situation." This is where, well, he was ready to just get his grimoire until someone landed right in front of, well, mostly Asta, putting their hands in front of, well, Asta, and it's none other than what's it called, the red hair girl. This is where the red hair kind of smashes upon Asta's face, and then Asta kind of says, "Bleh. Can you not smash your hair right in front of me?" This is where, well, the girl kind of right now talks, and this is where she says, "Stop, Oni-san, don't attack him." This is where, well, Oni-san means kind of brother and other stuff, and this is where, well, let's just kind of say, "Wait, brother? What the hell? What is even happening?" This is where, well, the red-haired man decides to lower down his aura and kind of walks down to see his little sister, and this is where he hugs his little sister saying, "Are you okay? I thought this man decides to attack you." And this is where he then talks about how he saw a bunch of vampire soldiers. This is where a vampire from the sky landed down next to the red hair and says, "Hello there, Sir Six." And this is where, well, she kind of says his name. This is where, well, Sir Six says, "Ah, Allison, what is happening here? Who is that person behind you? He kind of has a human aura." This is where, well, they kind of try to talk about the person behind him, and Asa's gone. Asa said darkness exchange, which he exchanged with a soldier, and right now booking it out of the underworld, almost out of this stronghold. This is where, well, he's trying to get towards the cave, and when he gets close to the cave, vampire soldiers actually appear right in front of him, stopping him, trying to calm him down because, well, yeah, or trying to just take him. This is where Asta says, "Oh no, you don't." This is where, well, Asta got annoyed when there are so many mostly, not darkness soldiers, mostly vampires, and this is where Asta says, "Get out of my way." This is where Asta opened his eyes again, and this is where a flash of like this kind of dark purplish aura smashes upon the vampires, right now knocking them out in an instant. This is where, well, mostly everyone in the stronghold felt it. It was a very powerful conqueror spirit. This is where, well, someone with red hair says, that's a powerful conqueror spirit. But only people that This is where, well, the vampire also noticed, mostly the gray silver hair, who was trying to tell the soldiers to grab him and stop him from actually letting him live, or just leave the stronghold. But of course, this is where, well, a bunch of people felt it, and this is where some people were curious. Why is there a conqueror user here? They know what a conqueror user is in this world, kind of. Not conquerors hawking, they don't know about that, but conqueror users are kind of rare. Now, of course, I'll explain more in detail in what a conqueror user is later on down the story. But of course, the work, well, Asta managed to book it to the cave, jump out of the cave entrance, and kind of start booking it more. This is where, well, Asta kind of grabs a twig from a tree. This is where he adds magic. And this is where, well, mostly like a large stick, twig or whatever. He knows this isn't gonna fucking work until it actually works. It levitates and flies him away. He then thinks that the trees are actually made of magic and can actually condense some magic so he can fly. But yeah, he doesn't care. He's out. He's gone. He's getting back to the Blackwell hideout, and he's never speaking about this ever again. This is where, well, Asta gets back to the Blackwell hideout, and this is where, well, he kind of gets into his room, kind of just like jump through the window. Of course, gets a stick and like puts it somewhere. This is where, well, Asta square chops and says, that was a crazy adventure. Should I tell Yami and the others about this? I don't think none of them will believe me. Then again, Yami is more an experienced captain, so he should probably believe me. Or probably he's gonna laugh in my face. Which if he does, I'm definitely there quicking him, punching him in the face. That's not the point. This is still tired. Whatever. This is where Asta, he gets downstairs. Sees already everyone asleep because it is kind of like in the dark. Mostly it's like 3 a.m. And this is where he kind of noticed was it called Yami. He wasn't sleeping. And this is where Yami says, "Oh, you're back, kid. Took you a while. Where have you been?" Asta says, "Crazy ass story adventure, and I might tell you about it." Or should I tell everyone about it? Nah, I'll tell you about it. This is where Asta explains about the whole species and other things that he just met. Vampires, werewolves, kitsunes. This is one where he said kitsune. Yami's eyes widen in an instant. This is where, well, Asta notices and says, do you know what that is? This is where, well, Yami says, "Oh no, it's just remember something about stories. Something about it in a story." Asta says, "Okay. Wait, you're not from what's it called, the Four Kingdoms, are you?" "No, I'm not, kid. I'm from what's it called, the Land of Sun. And I just remember something about a story about a kitsune, and mostly those species being very rare." "And you say you met one? What does she look like? Did she try to eat you alive?" "Well, since I'm here, I guess I didn't get eaten alive, did I?" "There's many other ways for you to be eaten alive and getting your energy sucked out. If you know what I mean." Yami kind of winked at Asta, and Asta's face becomes a little bit red and says, "No, I don't think so. I don't think that's what she did." "Oh, it's a she. I see." And this is where Asta says, "Why the fuck did you wink at me in the first place? Do you think I was literally getting kind of... You want... Never mind, but no." This is where, well, Yami says, "I don't know, kid. I'm just saying." This is where Asta says, "Fuck you." But still, I don't know what the species really wanted with me, but of course, I managed to escape from them. If they come here looking for you, I'm literally gonna just drop you under the bus. I'm going to kill you. This is what Asta said. This is where Yami chuckles and says, "I'm just kidding, kid. It's good to know that you're fine and safe." "So, you said you were fighting with the vampire princess, queen, whatever?" "I guess so. I don't know. The person that I was fighting with her along was mostly a very strong vampire that had mostly the amount of magic close to that of the Wizard King. I might be far basing it off, but that was me close enough for it." This is what Yami says, "The species, well, other type of species that aren't humans, yeah, they would be stronger than normal humans since they live off some of the, thrive off some of the element natures of what's it called, the world." Asta says, "Yep, and luckily for me, I thrive off none of that." Well, I don't think so. Yeah, none of it. I use darkness and also earthquake, but don't worry about that. "Don't know, kid. Maybe you're some kind of species and they just wanted to have you." This is where Asta swatch up and says, No, I'm not from a species. I'm just human." "Okay, kid. Whatever you say. Just go up into your room and go to sleep. It looks like you had a long adventure." That's for sure," Asta said. "Well, I'm gonna be going upstairs then." Asta gets upstairs and just falls down on his room and mostly falls onto his bed and decides to take a fucking nap. The next day happens, and of course, Asta kind of wakes up towards hearing a kind of questionable, well, not questionable knock, mostly a kind of loud kind of yell, and of course other stuff happening. And this is where, well, Asta says, "Well, that's easier to wake up than what's it called, 4 people on me. Whatever." This is where Asta gets downstairs and kind of sees the commotion and hears what is happening. It's none other than, well, someone red hair and bluish eyes, but of course having a short. His name is, what's it called? Oh, fuck. Mostly that wind guy. I forgot his name. Fuck. And of course, this is where, well, next to him is mostly someone with kind of blackish hair and pinkish eyes. And this is where she narrows her eyes so far towards Asta. And Asta swatch up and just looks away. This is where, well, mostly, well, the person's name was Finrick? I don't remember. I'll search it up later. But for right now, I'm actually going to end it off here because I need to go do something. Other than that, bye, see ya, and yeah.